Driving, Riding, and Walking, an essay on land use and transportation policy. Prologue, on the modal definition of land use. Hey, wake up, you in the back there! Yes, I admit this is one boring subject, even more dull and dismal than economics. The only reason I go on with this damn video is it's so important. The gas is running out. In the long run, suburbs are just unsustainable. If we don't let go of driving and live once again in cities, we're going to die in dystopia on the side of a cracked asphalt highway. Or you just think the gas will last forever, or somebody will come up with something.
A new star, a new look, and a new feeling. Texaco, committed to the future, to quality, and to you.
We have to figure out how to live in cities once again. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the rest of the world. After all, America invented the mall and the freeway. Now crude imitations spread throughout Africa. If we don't figure out a way past the suburbs, nobody's going to do it. Our current policy proposes commuter rail and bus service to deal with sprawl. Silly politicians. Land use is defined by the walk and drive modes. The ride modes have nothing to do with it. Suburbs are designed for people to drive from place to place. Cities are designed for people to walk from place to place. Both the drive mode and the walk mode share an existential advantage over the ride modes. When you walk or drive from your origin to your destination, you can leave the instant you want and travel directly to where you're going. None of the ride modes let you do that. But the closer they get to that level of service, the closer you know you're living in a city and not just a lump in the sprawl. Whether you generally walk or generally drive, it's a matter of environment. Spotted owls can only live in old-growth forests. If you want to live on your feet, you have to live in a city. I don't think it has to be a big city. I'd prefer living in a little city, but a city nonetheless. That's why the Triangle's plans for a billion-dollar regional light rail system is such a dumb idea. Buses, trains, carpools, the ride modes. They all struggle in suburbs and thrive in cities, but either way have little to no effect on land use, on traffic. Which begs the question, do you know why Mother Nature's all paved over? Well, it's so the traffic can move. But if you follow the traffic, eventually it moves to the end of Mother Nature where it falls off into the abyss. The research triangle has become such a mess that really nothing can be done to redeem it as human habitat. Like the other great, roaring, car-dependent megalopoli of the American Sun Belt, the region's only plausible destiny at this threshold of a new millennium is to become significantly depopulated. We're even more spread out than Atlanta. There's no single center here. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, 3 cities, 2 cities in a town, some little lumps in the sprawl. Beep, beep, vroom, vroom. That would make the Triangle region the sprawlingest place on Earth. When, as the experts predict, the gasoline market destabilizes and gas changes from being cheap to dear, the Triangle region will fall the hardest. Where will we go? What will we do? Suburbs stretch from coast to coast. One generation looking out the top floor window of a Charlotte high-rise, their sons and daughters subsistence farming in Johnson County. Granted, there's a lot of denial. That's a river in Egypt, you know. Maybe cars one day will run on fresh air and drive themselves.
Meet the AirPod. It has only 3 wheels, 2 doors, and doesn't even have a steering wheel, but its creators think this could be the future of urban transportation.
Which is very special about the AirPod is the energy we use. We use compressed air to drive it. This is a very clean system, a very economical system. And the air engine works very simply. It is just using the air we've just compressed into a tank. And then we use this compressed air to move.
Google is road testing cars that steer, stop, and start without a human driver. The technology giant is known for its smart internet search engine, but the driverless car is extending those smarts to the road. The cars know speed limits, traffic patterns.
So why should drivers have to worry about riding the bus? Why do we take Sunday service from riders while giving commuter service to drivers? Why must that be? Why must the 1% of us who don't drive suffer for the 99% of us who do? Now just think of stopping off to get a loaf of bread going home. How much time does that take you? 5 minutes? Consider if it took 2 extra hours, if you can do it at all. 6 hours round trip every day to get your child to and from daycare. It'd be simple enough to fix this inhuman transit policy. Simple but impolitic. We'd have to admit that persons who have no car or driver's license really are transportation disadvantaged. In other words, it means having a means test for transit service. Everyone can ride the bus, but bus service would be designed for riders, not drivers. While the transportation disadvantaged go without decent transit, the government gives me a new high-quality bus route I can ride for free that goes direct from my house to my place of work. They're hoping that I would leave my car parked and ride instead.
The future fare, a fare for all and no fare to anybody. Yes, it's free.
40 years ago, the government built a freeway on top of Haiti, causing untold misery. Now I can drive from my house to my studio in 3.5 minutes. 2 exits on the Durham freeway. Beep, beep, vroom, vroom. I admit it, I'm addicted to driving. How many vehicles does one person need? I have 2. Cute little red sports car to drive around for fun, and a cargo van when the sports car just isn't big enough to carry around my shit. My car's front seat is by far the most comfortable chair I own. Heated, completely adjustable. All my favorite tunes are a fingertip away. If momentarily I get bored driving in traffic, all I need is to punch that little car. Sweetest 6-speed transmission you ever saw. But it is true, cars do kill cities. In the long run, walking must beat driving. The question is it going to be worth the cost and effort to beat the habit? Or are we just going to die, our fingers clenched on the driving wheel? Think of driving around looking for a parking space at the mall, and after parking, walking across the lot. It takes only a moment to change from driver to walker. Beep, beep, vroom, vroom. The Bull City Connector, the regional rail referendum, and on all the like. They won't get drivers to ride. But maybe there is a transit service that'll get drivers to walk. Think Brooklyn. Think big, Durham. Think Subway! Compare land-use transportation alternatives in North Carolina's Triangle. Vote There's a Better Way on Durham's November 8th ballot, the transit referendum. See why and how at www.drivingridingandwalking.info.